Hi everybody, Martyn at Flicking Feathers again today, and I'm tying another fantastic sandeel pattern for you. This is Ken Abrames' Big Eelie. Now obviously you can see it's designed to imitate the larger sandeels. Very, very effective, you know, when the bait starts getting a wee bit bigger. Obviously, I mean, sort of intended, designed for stripers, but it works for a range of species. All of the saltwater bass species will eat this, and various others as well. As always, I'll put a materials list in the description, along with a link to the Patreon page for anyone who wants to support the channel, get access to the members only content, online fly tying classes, as well as entering the giveaways. Alternatively, like the video, share the video, watch all the way to the end, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell button so you get notified of the new videos. All that helps. So I've got my hook and my vise. Now I'm using for this Gamakatsu S10S 4H, but it's actually not that heavy, right? And this is a size 1/0. I would say tie this 1/0 to 3/0, maybe 4/0. It can go quite big. And I've just run on a base of white thread. Now I'm going to tie in a wee bit of bucktail for the support of the wing, the flatwing section. Right, it's a flatwing style fly basically, but it's very sparse. And I've got a tail here with quite short hair. Right, this hair's only like a couple of inches long. It's ideal for this because I don't want my bucktail as long as the saddles. Right, I just want it to sort of help prevent fouling. I want it to be quite sparse. I've actually maybe got a wee bit much here, so I'll just take a wee bit away. Right, length. I like sort of, what's that, 2 shank lengths, say. Right. I mean, obviously, you sort of can judge yourself based on what you think the length of the overall, or what you've decided the overall length of the fly is going to be. So this fly is going to come back to 4. It's got to be like 4 inches. It'll be coming back just beyond the end of my vise stem here. So like half of the longest saddle nearly is going to be out and free from the longest bucktail fibre there. I just pulled that in a wee bit just to shorten it. And don't use, if you've got a tail with long hair on it, don't use that. Find a tail, find like a low grade tail, if you know what I mean, with short hair, so that you get like the good of the taper from the bucktail. And it gives you a nice shape. Now I cut that at an angle, and I'm going to just tidy everything up, more or less. Right. So I've got a nice clean tie-in base. So the first feather, rather than using a saddle, I actually like a neck feather, right? Because they're a wee bit stiffer, and they help prevent the flat wing from fouling and all that, as well as the bucktail. They kind of work together. And when you get yourself a nice, like a streamer neck or something like that but with quite nice sort of tapered, thinnish feathers. And ideally you want to come in the middle of the cape. This is obviously going to be the shortest. So I've come down the middle and you can see that feather's nice and kind of symmetrical. Got to take a wee bit of the white fluff, marabou stuff from the bottom. I'm just going to dub this. Right. And this is a thing, a lot of people miss out this when they tie a flat wing. It's the pillow. I'm just getting a wee lump of that there. Just take a thread. And that wee base there, that fuzzy base, that really helps to prevent the feathers rolling. It really lets them bed in. When you tie them on, you'll get a nice, easy way to tie in a nice flat wing, flat feather that's not going to move the way you don't want it to. So I set my length. I'm going to strip off the worst of this. And this can be just a wee bit longer than the bulk of the bucktail. I don't need any more than that. Just going to tie it in, take a loose wrap, and you'll see it now. Just get a wee pull just to straighten everything up. Pull it along the shank, and then tighten. And then I'm going to cut this stem the length of the body. Alright, again, see a lot of people tying them and they cut this, you know, they cut the stem right at the back, you end up with an ugly step. You don't want an ugly step. Right, I'm going to get a bit of flash, and I'm going to take 2 strands of pearly flash. Use what you like. It's not really, the specific type of flash is not that important. And I'm going to tie these on top. 2 or 3 wraps. I'm going to let them all be different lengths. Fold it. They'll come in. And then you can see I've got them all different lengths coming out. I just let them swim independently. If you wish, you can cut them all the same length and they will kind of stick together in the water. They tend to grip. And then you'll get like a kind of solid kick or a single flash. So next I'm going to use chartreuse. You can use any colour you like really, but I like this as a sort of for the. I don't like that feather actually when I look at it, it's a wee bit wide. I like the chartreuse, just giving you that wee touch of fluorescence. That's a better one. And I like to have a wee bit of the fluff in the saddle feathers. And a good saddle will make a difference, right? You'll get nicer flies. Now, just measure this. I want it a wee bit longer. I like to sort of progressively let my feathers get longer. Now, I'm looking at this where I want it to be tied in. Right, so the tie-in point, if I set that on top, right, I'm going to take my thumbnail and flatten that as well. Just pinching it. You see the feather sort of kicked a wee bit. Now, the first feather I tied, you can see it's curving up. The rest of them are going to be tied curving down, right? So the convex side is on the top, or the good side of the feather. I could just come over a loose wrap or 2. See how you're sitting, you can just tweak them in. And if you, that wee pull just sort of aligns it with the shank really well. Pinch and tighten up. This one, same length of the body. You can stagger them a wee bit if you want the taper, but you don't need to. The same again. Strip away the bumps. Let it be slightly longer. Strip it evenly. And then just crush that stem flat. See where we're sitting. That's fine. Make sure your thread's at the tie-in point. Again, just a couple of turns and just cheat it in. You only need to go, less than 1/8. Just a mil or 2. Just got to make sure my tie-in point's no creeping. I don't want my tie-in point creeping forward. Trim that again. Adding to the taper, then the top, the final one, Yeah, I should say this top one's a kind of yellowy gingery colour, cinnamon. It's nice. And then I'll finish off with an olive, again longer than the other two. And this is, I mean, as I say, you can tie this bigger. You can tie it longer on this hook if you like as well, without going up the hook size if you want it to keep the fly kind of light. But I sort of like this so that the hook's sort of, I mean, on these sort of smaller flatwings, right, it's not a massive fly. You might as well have the hook be in the first third, just to give you that extra bit of hooking potential. I'm just going to secure everything. And you can see that wee bit of dubbing, it's lost, you don't really see it, that the pillow. And if you read like Striper Moon, or if you can get a copy, or The Perfect Fish and all that, like that. And the guys that really know about flatwings, they put the pillow in. There's a lot of videos of flatwings out and the pillow's no there. And alright, maybe you don't 100% need it for the fly to go out and fish, but makes your life easy when you're tying it. Right, the body, I'm just going to use some white braid, or pearly braid I should say. This is the Lagerton stuff, which is very, very nice. But you can use Bill's body braid as well. And you can see, as I'm coming forward here, I'm just tidying everything up. Because the way I did the hackles, the stems, I've got a nice even body, right? I don't have a step, I don't have a bump. Which, there's nothing worse. I hate a bump in my fly. I want a smooth body. Now I'm just going to get a good bead of head cement on there. And I'll just use the rotary again. And the cement, the braid pushes the cement around, and ultimately some of it comes in and through the braid as well. Gives you a very nice sparkly body that's a wee bit more durable than just the braid on its own. So when you come up to your thread, oops, and when you get to the top of the fly, the front of the fly, just tie that off. Couple of wraps, I just like to fold it back and trim away. Just tidy everything up. And then I need a marabou blood, and I mean, buy the big pack, because if you buy the wee pack you don't actually get that much out of it, because you end up throwing most of it away, or if you don't throw it away you end up using substandard marabou. You do need to drop a lot of it, especially for these flies where it's sort of like, it's got to be good, you know. It's a nice feather that I just broke. That one will do. There we go. Right, so a nice, no. You see, like, at first glance that looked okay, but then when I got it out I noticed a couple of broken fibres and don't like it, so just throw it away, don't use it, right, it's no good. Nice wispy marabou feathers what you want, and you don't want a thick heavy one. Trim away the rubbish, and then I'll come in. Now if you look at the tip, you'll see where the feathers start to kind of get a wee bit longer, right? That's where you want to tie it in. Don't try and keep a wee teeny tip because these wee short fibres are not really any use to you. So that gives you a better tie-in and anchor. You can just moisten your fingers just to control it slightly. Catch it, 2 or 3 turns, fold back that tip, take another 2 or 3, and then don't let this go. Come in and nip it away. I always think you're better to nip that than the marabou stem. Sometimes it will slip through when you try to snap it like a hackle. And then keep this sparse. I'm folding this, and you only want, it will depend on your plume, but you want 2 or 3, like no more than 2 or 3. There's a full turn there. You'll see it kind of starts to thicken up. Don't overdo it. Don't be tempted to put extra on. Right, that's me into my second, kind of maybe 2.5 on this feather. Just fold that stem, catch it, right. You can just pull the marabou. If you fold it over the stem, the marabou will move, and you'll not catch any extra fibres. Come in and trim that away. And it's just a case of tidying up your head. Now, I like to wet it just to make it behave, right? I mean, you'll sometimes see people that wetting flies. They go, this is what it looks like wet, but it's not what it looks like when you're fishing it, right? Wet flies in the air is nothing like what they look like in the water. So just build a wee neat head. Oops, bumped my light. That's quite good. And a whip finish. You can use the tool if you like, right? My desk's a mess, so I'm using my hands. That's the real reason. Snip that, then wet it again, and that'll stop. That'll mean that if there is any excess head cement goes on this, the marabou's not going to try to suck it up. But don't touch your marabou, but you know, it's no absolutely foolproof, but it stops any, sometimes a wee dry fibre will catch and try to draw in the cement. If you get any excess, just take it away. And that there, it's, I mean, it will dry, but I've got one that's ready to go. Dry one. That there is your big Eelie. Simple fly, right? Very simple, really. Sparse. See how thin that hackle is there. There's not much there, but it gives you plenty of movement at the front end. And then that tail. And the flatwing is a great imitation of the sandeel, because the sandeel is it swims more like a snake than a fish, you know, and the horizontal hackles mimic that very well. So, hope that was useful, hope you enjoyed it. If you did, remember to give me a thumbs up below, and I'll see you for another one. Tight lines, guys, bye.